second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Thank you. To approve the resignation of Timothy Curran, 81 Gates Avenue, from the River Edge Fire Department, effective November 15, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
The motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? And to approve the appointment of Robert D. Irving, 914 Wildwood Road in Oradell, to the River Edge Fire Department.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Irving present? Robert Irving? Okay. Denise, I'll give you back the oath of office, and you can administer it to Mr. Irving when he comes into the clerk's office. In addition to those appointments and personnel changes, we have correspondence that is available at the clerk's office for review that is listed on the agenda. In addition to that correspondence and letters, we have monthly reports from the building department, the public library, and the tax collector for the months of October 2013. This evening we have liaison reports, beginning with Councilwoman Murphy, DPW, Shade Tree Commission, Library, Senior Citizens, and Shared Services. Councilwoman.
I have nothing to report. We have not had any meetings as of yet.
All right,
This month.
Councilman Acrofreda is on vacation. Councilman Coppola.
Yes.
Construction Code, Property Maintenance, SCORE, Historic Commission.
Our senior citizens, we just did our mass mailing for new prospects last week that we worked on for about 2 months, crafting up this new ad campaign to get new members to SCORE. So that mailing just went out last week, and that's what's going on with SCORE. The Historic Commission meets tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
All right, thank you. Councilman Mignon, Police Department,
Okay, get that.
Environmental Commission, Green Team, Planning Board,
I'll explain what happened.
River Edge, New Milford, Shared Services.
Nothing to report this evening, Mayor.
Okay, I know we have Planning Board coming up on Thursday.
It's just a resolution, there's no hearings.
Councilman Bartoloni, Rec Commission, Traffic and Safety, Special Events, Technology, Shared Services.
Nothing to report, Mayor. Everything meets this week.
Councilman Papaleo, Fire Prevention, River Edge Alliance Against Alcohol and Drugs.
Mayor, there is nothing to report for fire prevention, fire department. There is nothing significant to report. They continue to do a fine job. The DARE, the Alliance Against Alcohol and Drugs, we are currently processing the grant for next year, and that is the conclusion of my report.
Okay, thank you. I have no report tonight from the River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service. We have one ordinance on for first reading, which is ordinance number 1794. Madam Clerk, can you read the title?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 1794, bond ordinance to authorize the resurfacing of Fifth Avenue, Section 1, from Howard Avenue to slightly past the intersection with Wayne Avenue, a general improvement and the construction and reconstruction of sidewalks, curbs, and driveway aprons along the internal such section of Fifth Avenue, a sidewalk improvement in by and for Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $176,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Okay. This ordinance is on for first reading only this evening. After we vote on it, if it's passed, it will be advertised in the newspaper, and it will be put on for a public hearing and a final vote, final adoption. Again, this ordinance is regarding the first phase of the Fifth Avenue repaving project. Again, there will be no public hearing on this tonight. It's just to begin the adoption process. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Can I have a roll call vote, please? Denise?
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Coppola?
Yes.
Councilman Mignon?
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni?
Yes.
And Councilman Papaleo?
Yes.
All right. We have no ordinances on for second reading. We have our resolutions by consent. I know that some of the resolutions we have been discussing. There was a note regarding, well, before I begin, is there any council member who wishes to pull up for separate discussion or consideration any resolutions on the consent agenda? Kathleen?
I just want to bring to Denise's attention, that was brought to me by Councilman-elect Bastide, on 13-414, it looks like there's a typo in that. The address for Main Street is two different numbers. It says 1001, and then it's listed again at 1011, further down.
All right.
So I'm not sure whichever one is correct.
Well, it's being moved.
From Kinder Kamak. From Kinder Kamak,
Oh,
that's right.
okay.
It's 1001.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, mine has both 1001. You must have.
Now you go down a little bit more to the last sentence, and it's 1011.
Oh, yes, you're correct. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll correct it. Thank you.
Okay.
Wasn't there a request to change the date of that resolution?
Yes, it's in there, Mayor, February 27, 2014.
14.
2014, the next year. They're not going to move until February 27.
Okay.
The original was January 1st.
Was that their real address?
Yes,
35 Kennedy?
And then 13-416. I just had a question, I know we discussed this in the work session, for Councilman Mignon. Have you worked with this company before?
No, I haven't.
All right. Anything else? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda from 13-408 up to and including 13-420?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. Can I have a motion, it's just in a strange spot, for 13-422, the free technical assistance workshop?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And Councilman Mignon, 13-421, the payment of bills.
Yes, Mayor. Whereas vouchers for the payments of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee. Now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $142,698.75. Capital account, $85,568.81. Recreation account, $1,578.85. Trust other account, $6,824.06. Open space account, $484.98. Trust others developers account, $3,893.46. Animal welfare account, $2.40. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, any abstained? All right, let's open to the public. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, if any member of the public wishes to make a comment, ask a question, all they need to do is raise their hand and give us their address. Peggy?
The White, 741 Center Avenue. Two things. One thing, when you were talking about whether to have a trust fund, it's not the trust fund that I'm questioning, but you've got to be careful with asking, talking about it as a senior citizen or a community. First you talked about it as a senior citizen, then you switched to a community census, so,
It's I don't know what to call it, because it doesn't exist.
right.
So,
But if it did, I'm sure that it wouldn't just be a senior citizen thing, because they don't do such things anymore, just one thing. It's hard to get a grant
Right.
for just a senior citizen
well, it's
situation.
easier to get a grant for just a senior center than it is to get a grant for a community center. It's hard to get a grant just for a community center. For seniors, it's easier, but the property would be deed restricted, which is an
Right.
ongoing discussion issue that we've had for years. I don't know what to call it. I put senior center, senior citizen / community center. All I know is that, like, for instance, today, at 5:30, I performed a wedding, right here in council chambers. I don't accept a fee for performing weddings, but I tell people, if you want to make a contribution to the fire department, to the volunteer ambulance corps, I'll accept the contribution. And sometimes they'll write a check for $50 to the volunteer ambulance corps, and I'll give it to the ambulance corps. There's nothing preventing me from saying, if you want to write a check to the Senior Citizen Community Center Trust Fund, go ahead. There's no amount or anything like that. So it's just an idea. We should have an account where we can put contributions in if we collect them. That's all.
The other thing that I wanted to say is this whole year, it has bothered me because of the fact that we advertise that the public meetings are at 8 o'clock. And too many times, the work session has gone through 8 o'clock. Every one of these mayors that I've been here for 58 years have always done it that way. And there is no reason why, if we advertise it for 8 o'clock, that the work session should stop. There's no reason for it to keep going. Everyone has always stopped, whatever it was, and started the official meeting. And I really think that it gives a very bad impression to have our meeting just be kind of haphazard. Oh, we'll get to it when we want to, when we want to stop talking. And if you advertise it for 8 o'clock, it's advertised on the board outside, it's advertised everywhere. You even start the meeting by saying that the meeting is going to be, the regular meeting is going to be at 8 o'clock. And I really wish that we would go back to it, because it just seems just a little too haphazard for an official meeting. And there doesn't seem to be, I mean, we don't have big groups of people anymore, but when a group of people come up and they start talking at a work session, and then it goes through, the people who were told it's at 8 o'clock come in, and it's over. And that's not fair. And it has happened. And that has only happened in this last year. So I, as a person who loves coming to this meeting, have been quite upset over it and have wanted to say something about it for quite a while.
Well, thank you for pointing that out to me. I try to let everybody get their chance to speak in public. I know that there have been a few meetings, a few work sessions that we've gone over 8 o'clock, either because I don't want to cut anybody off who wants to be heard, or because our agenda is too, what's the word?
Robust.
Robust. That's a good.
The mayor has said, I'm sorry to do this to you, but our official meeting has to start at 8 o'clock, and they have stopped.
I know. We hear, for our work sessions is when we hear presentations from experts, from engineers, from developers, and from vendors, from contractors, you know, our HVAC, our library.
We've been told.
Sometimes,
the towns.
sometimes you can't shut the people up
Oh, you have to.
that are on the council, and they have such intelligent questions to ask our experts that our meeting runs over, including me. I'm the biggest abuser of it, but I'm going to I can only promise you, Peggy, that I'll try to do better.
Thank you.
Anybody else wish to be heard? Can I have a motion to close the public portion
So
of the
moved.
meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Council comments? Any council comments?
First, I'd like to congratulate and thank, thank Councilman Bartoloni for the work that you've done here and for serving on the council as you have. I know that we have not agreed on some things, but I appreciate your comments and do take them to heart, your input. So I'd like to thank you.
Yeah, a couple more weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't worry, there could be another shootout or two.
I got a couple more weeks, but thank you.
I know, I enjoyed it.
I would like to thank everybody that came to the Don Smart presentation that we had for the business forum last week. He gave us some good information, and I realize that Fort Lee now is using him as well to get their business development underway, so I look forward to working on that. Our Mayor's Wellness Campaign is still going strong. We now have a Roosevelt School Fit Club that's been the past 3 weeks run by Kristen DiSavino, and we have over 130 kids that participate in that program. So, also, I did speak to Bonnie Stewart from the Green Team. She said that there's a grant application that she hopes to apply for before January, and so she said she would like a little help on that. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out for Memorial Day, and thank you to Joe Maggieri and all who attended that ceremony. That's it. Veterans Day.
Thank you. Councilman Capola.
No comments.
Thank you. Councilman Mignon.
No comments. I'll give you your eulogy in the detail.
You keep dragging it out.
I will eulogize myself also at some, it's not every day you get to eulogize yourself, I guess, but...
Farewell tour.
But congratulations to Councilwoman-elect Bastide and to Councilman Mignon. Just a few things that I did want to touch on, not eulogizing, but just some things that are, I think, very favorable for the town that people don't really hear too much about. We got the information regarding our the rate of interest on the bond that we just went out for, 2.02%, which is a fantastic rate. I mean, it really doesn't get much lower to that than getting the money, you know, essentially for free. And I think, though, that that rate was directly tied into our Standard & Poor's report, maintaining our bond rating, which also, again, doesn't get publicized a lot, but that report was very positive in terms of the direction that the borough has been going in terms of our fund balance and our policies, and particularly the fund balance and debt policies, which are specifically referenced in the Standard & Poor's report. So the borough, from a financial perspective, I think is in a fantastic position going forward. There was certainly several rough years, but I think the corner has been turned, and so you know, I look forward to what you can do with it on a going forward basis, because I really think all the elements are there to continue to grow the fund balance and possibly either have a 0% increase or maybe a small reduction in the municipal property tax for 2014. So I think all the indicators are very positive for the borough. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Tom.
Just to offer my congratulations to Ellen and to Ed, and also I think Al makes a good point. We have been doing a very good job of creating good financial policies. I was on the Finance Committee for 1 year, and this year I'm on Personnel, but I think the bond rate we got is connected to the work that the Finance Council has been doing for many years, and I was glad that I could see firsthand the work of the Finance Committee for the year that I was a member of it.
Thank you. Again, I want to echo congratulations to Councilwoman-elect Bastide and Ed Mignone. The Finance Committee has done, yeoman's-like work over the last few years. I hope that Ed wants to stay on the Finance Committee next year. I hope he asked me if he could stay on. I hope everybody votes him onto the Finance Committee because he's been an asset on that committee as well as in his other liaison appointments. I did get copied on the email to Bonnie Stewart and indicated that I was available. She needed some help in filling out the application. I know that I want to step on Ed's toes because he's liaison to the Green Team, but if Ed wants to help Bonnie, he can reach out and help her with any grant application. It'd be a good opportunity to get the PSE&G grant, even if it's for $2,000 for the Green Team, who's done very good work. I think that there was a request. We have a plaque. Does the Green Team have a plaque that it just received?
Hangs on the wall.
Because I was requested to take the plaque and bring it to Atlantic City with me tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to luncheon,
I'm
so
bringing Fort
I was
Lee's with me,
going to...
too,
Yeah.
so.
What?
I have Fort Lee's with me.
And to hand it back to them so that they can hand it back to me
Take a picture.
and take a picture.
Mm.
So I have to remember to,
But you have to be there by noon tomorrow.
by noon,
That's when the luncheon
you have
is.
to take it. All right, I don't have to leave earlier. The Veterans Day ceremony this year was the best I've seen. There was really some great input from the school children, and we had not only our veterans in attendance, but we had former borough officials in attendance. We had new members of the military in attendance, and we had it was just a very, very moving ceremony. I was broken up at a couple of points in time when the children were speaking. So, and I hope I hope we all remember our veterans, not only on Veterans Day, but on every day. And with that, I can ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.